Welcome, everyone. We're in the Michigan Department of Education's Office of Educator Excellence, and this is an instructional video on the SCECH approval process for district-provided professional development as instructional hours. As many know, there was a law change regarding pupil instruction hours that was passed with the budget at the end of September of 2019. So Section 101, subsection 10 of the State School Aid Act now allows up to 38 hours of professional development to count as pupil instruction hours. This is a major change from the past because professional development has not been able to count as pupil instruction hours since that 2014-2015 school year. So there are several requirements for professional development to be counted as pupil instruction hours. One of those requirements is that at least 8 hours must be recommended by a district-wide PD advisory committee. That advisory committee would be board appointed, and it's comprised of teachers employed by the district representing a variety of grade levels and content specializations, including special ed, non-teaching staff, parents, and administrators. So for any of your professional development to count as pupil instruction hours, at least 8 have to be recommended by this committee. Also, in order to count as professional development, or for the professional development to count as instructional hours, the professional development needs to exceed 5 hours. Online instruction, if used, must be approved by the district, and the PD can only be counted, or the instructional hours can only be counted for pupils of the teachers scheduled to participate in the PD. So some further requirements from Section 101, subsection 10E. The professional development must be aligned to the school or district improvement plan, linked to one or more criteria in the district's evaluation tool, approved by the Department of Education as state continuing education clock hours or SCECHs. Then no more than a combined total of 10 hours may occur before the first scheduled student day and after the last scheduled student day, and no more than 10 hours may occur in a single month. At least 75% of teachers scheduled to participate in professional development are in attendance. So the one requirement we're going to focus on today is the SCECH approval, the fact that professional development needs to be approved by the department as a SCECH in order to count for instructional hours. So for this, there are a couple of options that districts can use this year in order to have their professional development count as instructional hours to get that SCECH approval. So one would be if the district is already or is not already a SCECH sponsor, they can become a SCECH sponsor. They can also collaborate and form a partnership with an existing SCECH sponsor and then have that SCECH sponsor submit the program application for them. Or they can use already approved SCECH programs from our SCECH catalog. We're going to get a little further into each of these options.
So option 1 is to become a SCECH sponsor. To become a SCECH sponsor, we can access the SCECH sponsor application by going to michigan.gov/teachercert, clicking on the SCECH and DPPD tab, and then selecting the sponsor application, which will download as a PDF document, which you will save, then complete and submit. And that is the process for becoming a SCECH sponsor. The direct link to become a SCECH sponsor is listed at the bottom of the slide as well. Additionally, when you access that SCECH sponsor application, you will be required to provide some information about the sponsor as well as the coordinators and the other roles that will be supporting the SCECH sponsor process. In addition to the sponsor information, the location and the titles and names of the the roles within the SCECH process. You also have to include a ME security agreement for the SCECH coordinators, and also signatures from the authorized representative, the superintendent, the dean, or the president of the organization is also required to sign along with the coordinators and any assistant coordinators. Once all that information is completed, the application can be submitted via email to sketch@michigan.gov. At the bottom of this page, you'll see the SCECH heading there. That is the heading that you'll see at the top of the SCECH application. So if you see that, you know you are in the correct place for the SCECH sponsor application. There will be about a 1 page of narrative information about the SCECH program, followed by the application itself.
So if you decide that you'd rather not be a SCECH sponsor, you don't want to go through the application process, you can try to collaborate with a already approved SCECH sponsor. So to find a list of our already approved SCECH sponsors, you would go to www.michigan.gov/MOEX, and then you'll see right in the middle of the page, in big and blue, it will be the click here to go to MOEX login page. Once you hit that, it'll take you to the login page, and you do not have to log in to access this list. Right at the top of the page, you'll see a menu bar, and at the far right is the SCECH sponsor tab, and so you'd want to click that. We also provided the direct link for the SCECH sponsor list at the bottom. Once you click on that, you'll see the SCECH sponsor list, and it's organized alphabetically, and you can search by name. If you already know a SCECH sponsor you want to work with, you can search directly for them, whether that's your ISD or an educational organization that you already have a partnership with. But you want to search for a SCECH sponsor you want to collaborate with, and then make sure that you form that partnership with them, and make sure that they will submit a SCECH program application on your behalf.
So we had 3 options that districts could access to help get SCECH program approved to count towards instructional hours. Option number 1 was districts could become SCECH sponsors themselves. Option 2 was to work with an existing SCECH sponsor to build a collaborative partnership to assist with the program and attendance information. Option 3 would be to use pre-approved programming from the SCECH catalog. So to access the SCECH catalog and all the courses that are already pre-approved and available, you can find that list at michigan.gov/MOEX. You'll click that same big blue button, which will bring you to the MOEX page. You would not need to log in to find this information, but instead look to the top of the page near the where it's circled on the slide here, where it says SCECH catalog. Once you click onto that catalog, you will be able to search the catalog by keyword of maybe the topic of the professional learning that you might be interested in accessing, or the date range that you'll need to satisfy certain calendar requirements, or you can even search by the sponsor or the county to find something in your local area, or again by the category to help you find the type of professional learning that you're looking for. But all these classes or courses would be pre-approved as SCECH programs and could qualify for your needs for DPPD for instructional hours.
Yeah, so after you kind of select which option you're going to go with, whether you become the sponsor, work with a sponsor, or choose a program. If you choose to be a sponsor or work with a sponsor, you'd have to submit the SCECH program application, make sure it's approved, and then that professional development as an approved SCECH program would be able to count towards instructional hours as long as it met all the other requirements laid out in law. We do offer several other resources on our SCECH and DPPD webpage, which we have listed out the link to that. You can find resources on both SCECH programs and district-provided professional development. We also have a guidelines for professional learning document available to kind of outline, what types of professional learning count for both laws MCL 380-1526 and MCL 380-1527, which deal with professional development for all teachers and professional development for new teachers. We also are providing video resources. So other than this video, you can also find instructional videos on completing a SCECH sponsor application, submitting a SCECH program application in MOEX, and uploading attendance in MOEX and accessing reports. So to view these videos, you go to https://michigan.gov/teachercert. Then you select the SCECH and DPPD tab, which is illustrated to right there with that little icon. And then it's located under the SCECH heading. That's where you'll find these video resources. For further questions, please feel free to contact our help desk. That is MDE Educator Help at MDE-educatorhelp@michigan.gov, or contact by phone at 517-241-5000.